Hello, I am Sylvie from Sylvie Stamps, and today I want to talk to you about how to ink a stamp, and more specifically, how to ink a distinctive stamp from Stampin' Up. These stamps are photorealistic, they have a lot of depth and dimension, but they can be a little tricky to get the really beautiful image that they are designed to give. So subscribe to my channel so that you get notification of future videos. And let's get going. First of all, I want to show you in the Stampin' Up! Catalog how do you recognize when it's a distinctive stamp? Well, you can tell by this little crest here that says distinctive. Look how photorealistic these fruit are. They are amazing. I'll put them a little closer so you can see the detail that you can get with these images. It's just amazing. Then this is a clink stamp, like a red rubber stamp. So is this one, the Sailing Home stamp set. Also, again, a lot of details in all the images, and I will show you how to get the beautiful, the beauty of it to come through. Now here's a photopolymer distinctive stamp. Again, it has a little crest right here. This one is a 3-step stamping, which gives you a lot of options, basically. Generally, the distinctive stamps are not several steps because you have the dimension just built into that. But this one, because it is 3-step, gives you a lot of versatility and different ways that you can do things. So let me give you some examples of how to do it. Okay, we will start with a piece of the Sailing Home stamp set, the little compass, and I'm going to use my soft suede ink. And you will see that it is a very nice and juicy ink pad right now. And you can see, I don't know if you can see well, but there's bubbles, right? It's quite juicy. So let me stamp that and you will see what we get with that. Okay, so this is the image we get, and we lose a lot of the details because there's just too much ink on my stamp. So what to do? Even if you do a second step, I can try that. I want to try and do this about the same direction. Okay, here we go. You still don't get, so now maybe it's a little bit better, but quite often you don't get exactly what you need. So I'm going to clean my stamp, and then the big trick is to use a spoon. Okay, and this is a must tool in your craft room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure and just push the ink down into the ink pad. Okay, now don't worry, the ink is just going further down into the ink pad. It's not disappearing at all. Okay, so the surface of my ink pad now has less ink. I'm going to ink my stamp the same way. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to stamp it. Okay, now you can see, now I can see all the details of it. You can see the tiny little numbers that are on the outside here, and all the details of that beautiful, beautiful stamp. So this is for the compass. This is true for any of the rubber stamps like that. Just scrape your ink pad and you will get a much, much better image. Test it first because maybe your ink pad doesn't have too much ink. Okay, so just test it, see what results you get, and if needed, just scrape the ink and you get that beautiful detailed image. Okay, now let's see how it works with the photopolymer stamp. Okay, so here I have now my Bermuda Bay. Oh, actually, before we get into this making the card, let's test it. Okay, and I recommend you just test as well, just to see what your ink pad is at this point in time. Okay, so I'm going to ink, and I'm going to see, you can see on this one, you can see the bubbles quite well. And so when there's bubbles like that, you know it's just plain too dark. It's just, you're going to lose, it's going to be all muddled. Oops. Okay, and you can see there I lose all the details. And by the way, with that 3-step stamp, what I did is I put a little mark on where, you know, just so I know which one is up. So let's do the same thing. I'm going to clean this stamp here, and I'm going to use a different spoon, a clean one, and I'm going to scrape, push the ink down on this ink pad. Now I'm going to make sure that that stamp is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to make sure all of the ink pad gets pushed down like that, okay? Again, test your own ink pad because you don't know how juicy it is to start with. Okay, now I'm going to stamp this one again, and you can tell, see now, oh, there's a little bit of bubbles here, but by and large, it's quite different looking. Okay, there we go. Okay, you can see now I have a lot more details showing up on this image than I do on the previous one. Now let's add the accent part of that set, and we line it up. I knew that my little black mark was at the top, and now I like to use actually this petal here to line up. Okay, and I'm not, okay, there we go. And even if you're not exactly over top, okay, and look at the depth that it gives. Okay, it's just beautiful. And then if you want, you can even add the line image, but it's not, you don't have to. And I really like the detail that it gives in that. Okay, so let's make a card and see how that works on a card. So we're going to stamp the big flower right in the corner here. And then stamp the accent piece. Right about here. Okay, and then I'm going to use one of the, there's several leaves in that set, but I'm going to use just the line one. There's another one that is also another set of leaves that is distinctive, and so you would want to make sure again that your ink pad is has just the right amount of ink. All right, okay, so now let's assemble it on a card and see what it would look like. And then I will show you some other samples that I made in a different color with that stamp set. Okay, so let's just put this on the card. This is Bermuda Bay and Granny Apple Green ink. Make sure that it's nice and bonded well, and then we'll add just a simple hello greeting on this that I cut with the stitched nested labels. There we go, and you have a simple card that is beautiful with that flower. Let me show you some other samples that I made using the Rococo Rose. So this is a similar idea, using it full strength. I made a great big flower in the center here, and then 4 in the corners. And here I used the leaves that are also distinctive. So I had to make sure that my Père Pizzazz was had the right amount of ink. Now on this one, I made sure that my ink pad had enough ink, and then I stamped off. So I stamped first on a scratch piece of paper, then I stamped on my project. And so that gave me this really beautiful light image, and then I could stamp my greeting right over top that. And I did the same with the leaves I stamped off. So there you have it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and check my blog. I will put the link, actually it is right here, sylviestamps.com. I will also put it in the comments. And leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. See you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.